Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Sunday night? Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all had a good weekend. Hopefully, your team's drafted pretty good, but if not, then too bad. But here we are in this episode. I'll let Beans do a shout out before we get into it.
We'd like to thank all our folks that comes to watch the live. Thank y'all for giving us your undivided attention. And those that have watched, come back and watch the replay. Thank y'all for doing that. I want to send a shout out to my our fans on YouTube. And for the radio edition, we got some new cities. I swear we are so worldwide now. It's like Hanoi, Vietnam has been listening to us. Thank y'all for listening. Baghdad, Iraq has been listening to us. Thank y'all for listening. Damascus it's called the New Syrian Arabic Republic. Is the new what they call it. It's no longer just Syria. But thank y'all for listening. Paris, France, and damn it, I forgot the town in Australia. It was a weird one, but we got listeners in Australia too. Thank y'all for listening.
And thank y'all for tuning in on all what you and I was talking about before we got on here. Trotter went to Tampa Bay, second round.
Oh, he's gonna be in Tampa Bay. Oh, yep. Cool beans.
He's in Tampa Bay. So that's where he went.
Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I didn't tune into Friday, so I missed the second and third round. So I was like, I just came in late on Saturday. I started watching about 3:30, 4 o'clock. You know, it's like, I didn't hear his name, so I was like, he must not be in the draft.
All right. I'll go get on some baseball scores right now, and then we'll try the last half hour of this episode to talk about the draft or teams.
Cool beans.
I'm not too excited about our draft of the Chiefs, but we'll get into that here in a minute. So let's go with baseball. You had a final. You had the Braves beating the Phillies 6-2 in Atlanta. Right now in the top of the 10th in KC, you got the Angels and the Royals tied up 8-8. You had the Red Sox beating the Orioles in Baltimore 5-3. You had the Blue Jays beating the Guardians in Toronto 4-2. Rockies over the Mets in New York 3-1. Tigers beat the Reds at home 8-3. The Rays beat the Twins in Tampa Bay 4-2. Yankees went to Houston and lost 7-4. Brewers beat the Pirates in Milwaukee 5-0. Nationals beat Chicago White Sox in Chicago in a final in 10 innings, 2-1. Mariners over the Cardinals, 3-2. Athletics over the Rangers, 2-1. The Giants beat the Marlins 6-3 in San Francisco. You had the Diamondbacks beating the Padres 12-7. Then you had the Dodgers beating the Cubs 6-0. Rockies over the Mets again 3-0. That was game 2. And here in the last week or so, we've had some crazy baseball games. The Braves were involved with one. I'm trying to think who they were. I think the Diamondbacks, where they scored like 16, 18, 20 runs or whatever.
Dang!
It was like the other team ran out of pitchers, and I think the Diamondbacks did it again against the Padres earlier. But it's been a crazy wild one already for Major League Baseball. I'm not going to get in those standings right now tonight. I'll do it next weekend.
Okay.
Which next weekend I'll be at the beach. I'll be live from the beach. All right, let's go some hockey. Hockey. We got some playoffs going on, and
right, yeah.
Right now, at the end of the second period, you got Montreal over Tampa Bay, 2-1. Montreal leads that series 2-1. So if they can hold off and win this, they'll go up 3-1 in that series. Getting ready to start here in about 25 minutes or so. You got the Oilers at the Ducks. Let's see. Anaheim leads that series 2-1 as of right now. A final today, you had the Sabres beating the Bruins 6-1. Buffalo goes up 3-1 in that series, and then you had the Colorado Avalanche sweeping the Kings. Finished in that series, they won 5-1.
Okay.
At there in that series with hockey. We're on playoffs. About playoffs, let's go to the NBA.
Yeah, that's what. Because I haven't caught any of the hockey playoffs. I wanted to. I tried to yesterday, and I went to, and I don't have. I had to get an add on because I don't have Sling, and Sling is a lot. A lot of the hockey games was on Sling, and with Hulu, I had to have an add on. I was like, nah, I just won't catch it.
All right, here we go from games from last night on Saturday. You had the Magic beating the Pistons 113-105. Orlando, this is to me kind of shocking. Orlando leads that series 2-1.
Yes, that was shocking. I was like, come on, Orlando.
And then you had Thunder beating the Suns 121-109. It's looking like OKC is going to sweep that series mainly tomorrow, next game.
Yep, I got that broom out ready for that one.
And then your Knicks is struggling with the Hawks, but they won one. They have 14-98 to tie that series 2-2. And then here's to me, I think it's a kind of a shocker. Minnesota beats Denver 112-96. Minnesota's up 3-1, and they sort of like they're in brawl mode now. It seems like the last two games they're ready to throw down. That's what happens when you lose and you should be winning.
Right.
But here's my thing. Why was it Anthony who plays for Minnesota?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Why would he try to square up with the Joker? Why? Why? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your mind? I mean, that dude will break you into like a pretzel. Why are you trying to square up with him?
Why the Chihuahuas run up on you barking? That's what that whole situation was.
I'm like, dude, leave him alone. I don't care if he's running his mouth. He's like, yes, sir. Okay, move right on. I mean,
yep. And that's the sad part. I think we talked about that Thursday when I told you the Joker's brothers are bigger than him.
Yep.
It's like his brothers are huge.
All right, the games from the day. You had the Raptors beating the Cavaliers 93-89 to tie that series up. You had the Spurs over the Trailblazers 114-93 to go. San Antonio goes up 3-1 on that series. Right now, in the fourth period, the 76ers are making it a little more respectable game than what it was when I seen earlier. Mm-hmm. The Celtics is 104-78, but it was like 90-some to 43, 47 at one time. Ooh. So 76ers is bringing some points back, but it's not going to be enough to win. So Celtics going to go 3-0.
Celtics should go up 3.
And then at 9:30 to tip off, the Lakers are going to take out the Rockets, and they're going to sweep that. You got the broom out for that.
I'm on broom watch on that one too.
And when the Lakers has got two of their key players out hurt and they still win, that tells you something.
I know, and it's just like they're really resting. They're hurt, but they're resting. They plan on wanting them to come out in the next game series. But it was like if this was a struggle to where like if it ended up being like a 2-2, I guarantee you they would have played in the last 3 games.
Hey, what happened to KD? Why KD out? I know he had a knee injury. What happened to that?
Yeah, he had a knee injury for game 1, but he came back in game 2. He played in game 2. He's playing, but not like a lot of minutes. He can't play like the whole 40 minutes.
I mean, did they ever say
they never explained.
Because he wasn't hurt. He wasn't hurt during the end of the regular season. It was in between practicing or whatever.
Maybe because he must have, because KD like to talk about people's back. Somebody might have came up on and kicked him in that leg.
But all right, that's the rundown we got right now as far as the NBA. Now, the one subject you like to talk about, you know more on it than me, is the women's NBA.
Yep. And the one that I really wanted to talk about, everybody's talking about, they were talking about the Fever making that 109-91 on the New York Liberty. And it was like, it was a shocker because I thought they was going to lose that game because I was like, they didn't have a lot of size. They got a bunch of small guards, but they got people that can hoop. And they actually did pretty good, but that's not the game I wanted to talk about. The game I really was going to talk about was the Seattle Storm versus the Golden State Valkyries. Valkyries last year was their first year as an expansion team, and they made it to the playoffs. So it was like they set a record there of the first expansion team to ever, like on their first year, make the playoffs. Even though they got knocked out in the first round, but they still made the playoffs. So reason I was looking at this because both of them, like I say, okay, this is an expansion team, they second year this year, and they won 78-76. But the thing about the Seattle Storm is Storm got a whole new lineup. Everybody that was in their starting lineup last year went to different teams. So they had so I went and checked out their starting lineup. They had Jade Melbourne at point guard. She came over from Phoenix. Lexi Brown was actually there, was it with Seattle last year, but she wasn't a starter. They had at the small forward that I guess it's Flosia is how you say her first name, Flosia Johnson. She was the one they drafted. Dominique Malonga, she was there last year. She's starting at power forward. And Stephanie Dawson, I think she came from, I can't remember. She's either Washington Mystics or Phoenix Mercury. I think she's Washington Mystics, and she came over from there. But they have all these people never played together. Well, most of them haven't played together, so they have to learn how to gel and everything. But they did pretty good. They only lost 76-78. So it's like one hoop away. There's one less brick they could have put them in the winning lineup. But that was that game. They had 4 games yesterday. Let's look at the 4 games. We had Fever beating the Liberty 109-91. The Sky lost to the Mercury 108-104. Now the Sky is also a new team that's built rebuilding. They got rid of Angel Reese and they brought in Dejanay Carrington. Who else they bring in? Skylar Diggins. She came from Seattle. They starting point guard went over there. And who else they trade? Rika, what is Rika's last name? I want to say her name is Jackson. I know she came from the LA Sparks, small forward. So they rebuilding the team. You had the Lynx beat the heck out of well, not really. They only beat them by 11, 77-66. They beat the Washington Mystics. The Washington Mystics was going to be my killer team because they got a lot of big bodies. They drafted them 2 women they drafted from UCLA. They still had Sonia Citron from Notre Dame last year. She was in the running for Rookie of the Year, and so was Kiki Airfin. They actually, both of them running for Rookie of the Year, canceled each other out, and Paige just ran away with it because, they're both on the same team, so they're competing against each other, and Paige just ran away with it. And then the last game was the Seattle Storm losing to the Valkyries 76-78. But I think this year will actually be pretty good. They only get 3 preseason games, so it's not a lot. And today they were supposed to be making cuts. They have to like football, you play so long and then you got to cut down. They were supposed to cut down today, but I didn't see any news on that, on which teams cut who. Raven Johnson, I was mad because Indiana drafted her, but she actually played pretty good. So, like I said, if they go the first 10 games, fine, win the season in the first 10 games, I think everything's going to be fine. But if they find themselves in their first 10 games, 2-8, there's going to be some problems in that locker room.
Oh, yeah. So, there's going to be problems anyway with the women.
Yeah, I think so, but I know one thing. If they losing, they're definitely going to be problems. Winning, we might have some. we might can hold our tongue a little bit if we're winning.
All right. Anything else? We'll go ahead and.
Yeah, I got nothing else on women's.
All right. We'll go ahead and move into. Well, big the weekend discussion has been probably on all the sports outlets is this past weekend's draft. And we'll let you talk about here in a minute. I was a little aggravated with the Chiefs a little bit and how they, not that the first round they drafted a cornerback. All right, good deal. That's fine. All right. They drafted a defensive tackle the second round. Good. That's fine.
Right.
All right. Here's where, to me, there's two big weaknesses for the Chiefs. Their secondary and their offensive line. All right, you drafted the best cornerback in the draft. Why you moved up 3 spots to get him, I don't know. He'd have still been there at number 9.
I think so also.
But I don't know why you did that. Okay. And then let's see here. I got it up. Let's go to the third. Did they have a pick on third round? I don't think they did. I think it came in the 4th. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. All right. No, they didn't have a pick in the 3rd round. All right. Come 4th round. All right. This is where I think it is here. No. Okay. He was already gone. All right. So I was wanting to get that cornerback also from Tennessee, Dramod McCoy. He was the second best cornerback in the draft. I'd say if he was there at pick 9, but he went to the Raiders in the first pick of the round 4. If he was there at pick 9, I'd say they probably would have went with him, but they went with the safety from Oregon.
Right.
But, okay, my thing is the Chiefs need an offensive line. All right. They did not draft no offensive lineman. Okay. And when I went to go look, I'm like, all right, let me check their next 3 picks.
Right.
Their last 3 picks. I said, I want to see who they got. I'm looking for an offensive lineman. Okay, they're going to get an offensive lineman. Well, I know they didn't. Okay. So, let me back up. Their first 3 picks, okay, the cornerback Mansour or Delaney from LSU, that cornerback. I forgot they had a second pick. It was in the first round. That's when they got the defensive tackle Peter Woods from Clemson, and then they went with the defensive end, the edge rusher, Mason Thomas. It's like I'm thinking about this. That defense up front in the run game was pretty tough last year. All right. Now they've just solidified it with their first couple picks,
right?
Along with Derek Jones. But then you got a safety, and then the last 3. This is what got me. Okay, they went with a running back from Nebraska. They went with Emmett Johnson, which to me, by reading the scouting report, it kind of reminds me of Kareem Hunt. Okay. They say he's not a real swifty guy, but he can make people miss in the open field. Then they went with the wide receiver from Cincinnati, Cyrus Allen. And then in the 7th round, and this is a head scratcher, you got the 3rd best quarterback in the draft with Garrett Nusmir. I don't know how you say his name, from LSU. I sit there and I look at that. I'm like, okay, you got Justin Fields as a backup, which I know you need some depth. And it's just like they seen him there, I guess, in the 7th round. Like, hey, he's there. We might as well grab him.
Right, exactly.
It's like we can't let this guy go. He's the 3rd best quarterback that's in the draft. Let's go ahead and grab him. I'm like, it's like being I don't know, man. It's like But man, we need a lineman though. We need a lineman. So then, like before me and you got on, I said, well, let me go check something out. I said, so I went, went to look, see who they signed undrafted. Let me see if I can't get it to bring back up right here. Right here it is. All right. Going down through a list of names here. I'm looking, all right, we're going to sign some undrafted offensive linemen. Okay, we need some offensive linemen.
Right.
Well, no, hey, they signed another receiver undrafted from Cincinnati, 6'5", Jeff Caldwell. That's a big dude. Then a safety from Iowa. Then your man, Emmett Smith's boy, they signed him. A linebacker
I
from
can't
Miami.
believe he didn't get drafted.
I can't either. A tight end from Wyoming. Like, we need more tight ends. Vincent Anthony, a defensive guy from Duke, an edge rusher. Another defensive tackle guy, Cole Brevard. A cornerback. Another running back from Oklahoma, Jaden Ott. And then, oh man, the last guy, let's sign an offensive tackle. Why not? I mean, we may need one of those. Well, I mean, we may need somebody to block from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, so we can have a running game. We got the top running back in the country. I mean, in the league, and maybe we should have some blocking for him. So, unless there's some moves made, I don't know, man. It's just aggravating to see. I mean, you didn't. I mean, they went defense. They picked some top guys for defense, but without no blocking, without no offensive line, the Chiefs ain't going to win that division this coming year. I'll pick them finishing third. By seeing what I've seen in the draft, they'll finish third.
Right. And that's a tough division too.
It is. It is. That's why they'll finish third, because usually, and here's the thing, the Chiefs usually draft pretty well. Mm-hmm. They have. I ain't saying that these guys ain't going to do good, but man, we needed some offensive line. We need somebody to block. Talk to Tom Brady, which he ain't going to spill the beans because he's the rival with the Raiders. But I mean, I give their draft a C+. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to give her a C+. They started out good and then they just fell off.
Yeah, they like I say. I believe you and I was talking the other day, and I said so far, the ones they said they had the best drafts was actually the New York teams, because New York Giants had a good draft and the New York Jets had a good draft. In fact, I'm looking at the Jets right now. I would have looked up the Giants, but I don't want. I really don't. They in my division. I don't want to know. But I'm looking at the Jets with their first draft. They took David Bailey, edge rusher from Texas Tech. That was a good one. Then they went on the offensive side on the next one, the number 16, with Kenyon Sadiq getting a tight end for Geno Smith. That's a good one. And then we got wide receiver number 30. They had 3 in the first round. Number 30, Omar Cooper from Indiana. So giving Geno some targets. Now here's the problem. Last year they were, and this is the first. This is an NFL record because it's never happened. They were the only team to not even get an interception. Not even a linebacker picked anything off. Not an defensive lineman by accident picked anything off or lucked up. They had 0 picks. So in the second round, they got a cornerback from Indiana. Then through the 4th round, defensive tackle from Florida. I guess they're getting Geno's replacement, because in the 4th round, with the 110th pick, they got Cade Klubanek. He's quarterback from Clemson.
Yeah, he's a pretty good quarterback.
Then they got a guard in the 6th round from Miami. And in the 7th round, they got a safety from Kansas State. So I didn't look up what their undrafted was, because they may have picked up some more DBs, but I'm assuming that, especially like Aaron Glenn as they head coach, he was up there with Dion and getting them picks. He was up there. That was he was a ball hawk. He was one of those players. And I really hated for him that he went and had that bad year and no interceptions because he played for the Jets.
Well, since you don't want to talk about them, I'm going to talk about them as the Giants. I think they're going to win that division this year. I'm calling it now. They will win. They will win the East. Well, y'all in the East. I don't know where y'all in.
NFC East.
NFC East. Y'all going to win the East. Okay. All right. In the 5th pick, they picked the linebacker from Ohio State, Reese.
Yep.
The 10th pick, they got an offensive tackle. They're getting some protection for that young quarterback, which he played pretty good. Now think about this. Dart, they lost games that they were in. They lost a bunch of games that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and then in the 2nd round, we get down here. Let's see who else they got in the 2nd round. All right, the 2nd round, the 5th pick, they got a cornerback from Tennessee. All right, they went and got. Let's see, they got any more picks? 2nd round? No. Go back to the 3rd round. There's another team I want to talk about, even though they stink the last 2 years, is the Browns here in a minute because they loaded up.
Yeah, they didn't screw. I was expecting them to screw this draft up. They didn't screw it up.
Okay, now, and then the 4th round, the Giants go and get, or is it the 4th round? I'm in the 3rd round. Hold up.
I think it's supposed to be
third round. All right, fifth pick. No, 10th pick. They got a receiver from Notre Dame, Malachi Fields. They got a receiver.
Yeah, because they was talking about he's a good guy, and they was like if they put him on the other side of Neighbors.
Okay, so now let's go to the 4th round. Scrolling down through here. Well, the Giants didn't have nobody in the 4th round. I think the Bills had 3 picks in the 4th round. All right.
Yeah, why are you doing that? I'm gonna look up the Bills because I really was interested in who the Bills.
Man, they got Bills has got a bunch of picks, but all theirs are late. I'm still going here in the 5th round here, and I was 6th round, 5th pick. They got a defensive tackle. The Giants did. Then they had a pick 11 and 12 in the 6th round. They got an offensive tackle and another linebacker from BYU. And then go to the 7th round here. I don't know if they got any more picks. That was it. I think that was it.
Right. I wish we looked this up earlier because we could have did everybody's team. Because looking at this, I give the Bills a D on they what you call it. Well,
it's worse than
C minus.
It's worse than the Chiefs.
I think it is because main thing they was talking about last year why their offense couldn't do anything is because Keon Coleman was their best receiver. They didn't have no name brand receivers, and you think you look at their list, they're drafted 1 wide receiver. I mean, their first pick didn't come until the 2nd round. They got an edge rusher from Clemson, which helps out because Joey, which one they got? They don't have Joey or Nick Bosa. I don't know which one is.
They got one
Joey
of both, and they got Miller too, don't they? Miller, they still got Miller, Von Miller.
Von Miller was either not playing last year or he got hurt early because he wasn't in them playoffs. And I know Nick Bosa or whichever Bosa they have was not in there because he was hurt. So they
Joey, I think.
Huh? You think it's Joey?
They did good. They did good in the 7th round. The Bills, they drafted a punter.
Yeah, a punter and an offensive guard.
Yeah,
I'm like,
they drafted a punter.
They got them two DBs in their draft, a defensive tackle, a safety, a linebacker. Only one wide receiver came in the fourth round, Skylar Bell from UConn. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure about him. One, I've never heard of him. Then again, I'm not into college football, but I know this. UConn is a basketball team. They have a football team, but that's not where you get your wide receivers. Not UConn.
Well, you can look at this too. Okay. Reason why the Bills lost a lot of their games last year, because they had no defense.
Yeah, they had defense. Just a lot of them was hurt. A lot of them is old. Cause they had this one dude. I forgot what his name is. Oh, he comes to mind, but I cannot. He is old and he is pretty much slow. And he's trying to cover them tight ends coming out when the tight end, if he's in coverage, that was automatically completion because he can't keep up with him. And then when he does do it, he's getting pass interference calls or holding calls. So I think one of the linebackers they drafted is probably his replacement. Von Miller's getting old, and
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, they had defensive problems, and they had lost like the year before. They had lost both their starting corners to other teams, so they just elevated the secondary. So I guess that's what the two corners that they drafted was to replace them. But I don't know. I'm gonna give him a C- on this. I just like unless they plan on getting some veteran receivers on the offseason, which like I said, I'm not a fan. They may have picked up some people. I don't know. So I really didn't know. Or if they did some on undrafted free agents.
All right, I got the Browns brought up here. I'm gonna go over their picks. I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They had 10 picks. They had one more. They must have traded. Okay. They had enough to draft a whole new offense if they wanted to.
Right.
I mean, if you look at it that way. All right, round one, they went with an offensive tackle. All right, smart deal. All right, you got a block for Sanders. Round one, they got a receiver from Texas A&M, KC Concepcion. I remember
Yeah,
hearing
I like
him.
that pick. I like that one.
He's a pretty good dude. Round two, they went with another receiver, 6'4", Denzel Boston. Round two, they went with a safety, Emmanuel McNeil Warner. He's from Toledo. Round three, offensive tackle again. Smart. Usually they don't draft that many. Then round five, are you ready for this? The center from Alabama. All right, they're beefing up that line.
Yep.
Man, the Chiefs could have learned from them. I just said that. The Chiefs could have learned from the Browns. All right, round five. And then they had Justin Jefferson, a linebacker from Alabama.
Yep.
Round five, a tight end. I don't know why you need a tight end, but he's a Cincinnati guy, Joe Royer. And then round six, they drafted Taylon Green from Arkansas, quarterback. And then they drafted another tight end from BYU. So now they got 4 quarterbacks in the room. To me, Sanders is still your guy, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you do it, no matter how you pull it, cut it, slice it, dice it, he's still your guy, no matter what.
I think they wasted the pick getting that BYU quarterback. Not saying that he's bad, but you already loaded in quarterbacks.
Yeah, Arkansas quarterback. That was a BYU tight end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Arkansas quarterback.
Arkansas quarterback, but you're still loaded in quarterbacks.
Hey, and get this. Okay, the Chiefs drafted a quarterback in the 7th round because he was the 3rd top quarterback in that class. So they passed on him. The Browns passed on him and picked up this dude.
Dang.
So
which thought that Browns had a good draft. They had a better draft than what they normally do. So
They
I
do.
would give them a B minus. But
B.
you
I'll
know
give
who
them a
did
B too.
stupid? Who did stupid pass? I was looking up somebody who is stupid other than the Browns.
Who's that? Oh,
We in
excuse
the
me.
same state. Cincinnati. What do you think they needed?
They needed everything. A whole new team.
They pretty much needed offensive line as much as Burrow get hurt. Did not draft an offensive lineman at all. Here's another. Here's another one that was stupid. I understand you draft for the future, but the 7th round pick, their last pick, they drafted Landon Robinson, which he could be good, but I'm gonna tell you where he came from.
Navy.
Navy. Yeah,
He ain't big.
he can't play. He's not going to be able to play because even though he's from the Navy, he still has a 6-year commitment. He has to do a 6 years military, then he can come play.
Well, here's the thing, too. Pittsburgh Steelers drafted a running back from Navy.
Oh, gosh.
Now, here's the thing. They could be in their later stage of their contract. Couldn't they?
No, not really.
If they're a senior, think about this. If they're a senior, now how does y'all's contract work? Is it 4 years or what? 6? 4 and 2?
They have to, I think they have to do a minimum of 4, but if they want their retirement, they got to do 6.
See, okay, for instance,
that's like when
Army,
Dallas
Army
drafted Chad Henning. He was an Air Force dude. He did his 6 so he can have his Navy retirement. That way, just in case if the NFL didn't work out for him, he still had a retirement.
Because we had like a 4 and 2 or 6 and 2 or however 4 and 4 where you done your time and then you had your what was it called? I forgot the name of it. You could get called back if a war broke out.
Oh yeah.
It just slipped my mind.
It was like recall was coming. The only thing coming to my mind, but it's not a recall. But
oh man, it's done slipped my mind. That's how bad my mind is. But and I don't know if anybody's on here in the chat room to see.
No, we don't got anybody on here. I got 1 on YouTube and we got 3 on X.
But yeah, man, I forgot the name of it. It didn't slip my mind, but not our no, I don't know what it is, but inactive time, isn't it? Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I was just wondering about that. Oh, here, let's do this here. Let me ask. Let's see what it says here.
Oh, I take that back. They did draft a center from the. They actually drafted 2 centers. One is from Auburn in the 4th round, and the other one was a 6th round center from Duke. So they did get some centers, unless they're gonna change them centers into okay, one of y'all gonna play tackle and one of y'all gonna play center.
Let's see what this says here. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Players from the service, academics, like the United States Military Academy, Navy Academy, United States Air Force, graduate with an active duty service obligation. It's usually 5 years, it says.
Okay, 5.
So how it worked with the NFL. By default, they must serve in the military after graduation, not immediately go into the NFL. However, the Department of Defense has at times allowed exceptions where athletes can delay active duty to try an NFL career or serve in a reserve role while playing. Boom, there you go. Yeah, put me on the reserves. There you go. I'll do the reserves.
I know, right?
Yeah. So that's like the biggest one, the biggest name that we all know, and you probably know, is Alejandro Valenzuela from
Oh yeah, because we got his picture up in second floor.
Yeah, from Pittsburgh. He
He
played.
was
He
Army,
served with
wasn't he?
Army. Yep, and then he was a big lineman for the Steelers.
But yep, he's a Super Bowl winner.
Yep, and then you got Keenan Reynolds was allowed to pursue the NFL while fulfilling reserve duties. So there you go.
Oh, cool beans.
And that's according to Chat GPT, if it's correct. So that's where we're at there. So how did you like your draft for the Cowboys?
Actually, I did like it because the one part that I really let me pull that up. I had that up here just a few minutes ago. Cowboys did eventually get an offensive tackle in the fourth round because what I did, I ended up going on Blocker's show for a little bit on Friday, and I told him when he was talking about what the Cowboys needed because Friday was second and third rounds, and I didn't watch those, but I was wanting them to get because their offensive line looks fine to me except for Terrence Steele. I do not like Terrence Steele. I want him to be replaced, and he's a right tackle, and they drafted an offensive tackle, and they signed what you call it, unrestricted free agent. They got an offensive tackle. So Terrence Steele might be gone. So I'm like, okay, that's how we shore up the line because all the blitzes, all them sacks, they mostly came from his side. The holding calls, all that, the false starts. I don't think he had the false starts, but he had the holding calls. But it was his side. I was like, he got to go. And so they got an edge play. They got some defense. They did real good on the defense. Took the edge player from University of Central Florida, Malachi Lawrence. Then they got the other one. I want to say Jashawn Barham out of Michigan. They got a corner, Devin Moore from Florida. They got a defensive tackle from Alabama. And they got a wide receiver from East Carolina. But the big name they got was dude from Caleb Downs from Ohio State. And that's who actually Neighbors was mad that they didn't waste not waste. They didn't use their fifth round pick. The Giants didn't use their fifth round or the 10th round because they let Dallas get Downs at 11. They wanted Downs. Neighbor said, and he said not to disrespect the guys y'all drafted, but he said, I would rather have this guy on my side versus playing against him.
Well, I was looking at I brought up the Broncos. Come on now. Let's see here. Well, I got all these stupid ads coming up. All right, the Broncos. Evidently, I had to wait till the third round to pick.
Wow, they didn't have a pick until the third round. Not the first. Wow.
Yeah. So they drafted a defensive lineman, third round, 66 pick. Then the fourth round, they drafted a running back, Jonah Coleman. Fourth round, they drafted an offensive lineman. Fifth round, they drafted a tight end. Seventh round, a safety. Seventh round, a tight end. And seventh round, a linebacker. So that's where the Broncos are at.
What? While you looked up Broncos, I also looked up Baltimore. And I was wondering, where the heck did they get all these picks? They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How? Who was they trading?
Well, they probably picked up some picks from when they traded their safety to the Chiefs. Chiefs probably had to give up some picks for him.
Oh, I forgot Hamilton. Yeah.
Well, no, Hamilton's still there, but they gave up. There's a safety, a strong a free safety. Starts with the A. They got him.
Mm.
So they probably got a couple picks from the Chiefs there. But it's hard to tell. It's probably came from past years, from everything.
Right. Their first pick was an offensive lineman. I'm not gonna pronounce his name. He came from Penn State, and he had one of them long names. It's like, nope, can't pronounce that one.
All
They
right,
got
here's
an
the.
edge rusher.
Go ahead.
They got an edge rusher from Missouri. They got a couple wide receivers, one from Indiana, one from USC, tight end from SMU, cornerback from Duke, tight end out of Alabama, running back out, which I think they don't really need the running back, but they got a running back out of Clemson. They also drafted a punter in the 6th round from Michigan State, defensive tackle, and an offensive guard. I mean, they did look like they did pretty good.
All right, I got the Eagles up. I'll go over theirs, and then their first round, which makes sense since they're trading Brown.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of their problem. I think. Here's my thing. I think they'll do better offensive wise with him being gone. We'll find out. I think he was kind of their Achilles heel to that offense.
Mm-hmm.
I know they was blaming a lot of it on the offensive line. And then looking here, this is their draft. If that was the case, then they didn't draft only draft one offensive lineman.
Right. Well, I can't really put it on their line because it was like Hurts held the ball longer than he should have.
Well,
And
they
Hurts
didn't
was
give.
holding the ball longer than he said because he was trying to get the ball to A.J. Brown because he knows how he gets and get the complaining. But my thing is, if A.J. ain't getting open, you can't throw it. I mean, like the double coverage is on A.J.
Well, they stopped feeding Barkley, so.
That's what was one of the stupid things they did.
But here's their first round pick. They had McKay Lemon, receiver from USC.
Yep.
Okay. Second round, they picked the tight end from Vanderbilt, which they probably need because, what's his name stayed hurt a lot too.
Goddard, not Goddard.
Goddard. Yeah, Goddard. Yeah, Goddard.
Oh, I thought he was for the Redskins.
No. That's Ertz.
Zach Ertz. Yeah, that's right.
And then the third round, they had the offensive tackle from Miami. Fifth round, they had a quarterback from North Dakota State. I'm going to come back to that for a minute here after I read these other ones. Sixth round, they had a guard from Georgia. Seventh round, a safety from Texas Tech. And then the seventh round, they got a defensive tackle. I don't know where in the world this dude come from. International player pathway, so I guess overseas.
Mm.
And then the seventh round, they've got a edge rusher from New Mexico. All right, going back to the fifth round, they got a quarterback from North Dakota State. Well, you know who else came from North Dakota State? No, was it North Dakota State or Wyoming? No, he came from Wyoming. Never mind. I was thinking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen came from Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
Wyoming and North Dakota State, that's all the time, I think, playing each other a lot. So that's where. But anyway, going back to the quarterback, you know who didn't get drafted?
Oh, yeah, our favorite player.
Yes, and he didn't get picked up, undrafted. Nobody touched him. The mouth of the South.
Exactly. When you did all that for that Trump about all that complaining because you thought you should have got the Heisman and everything, he put a bullseye on his chest to where nobody wants him.
And so he did not. I just looked it up as soon as we got on. Nobody picked him up on the undrafted. So it looks like he's either going to Europe to play or he's going to the Canadian
USFL.
League. Yep.
And then we're talking about Diego. For those that didn't know, it's Diego
Pavio, Pavio,
something
the
like that
mouth
is
of
their
the
last
South.
name.
I'm gonna call him. That's his new nickname, the mouth of the South.
Because technically, he would have been good. Because like I said, I don't follow college football real good to where I know these people. And I ended up knowing him because I didn't know nothing about him until he started complaining about the Heisman Trophy and how he should have won it and blase, blase. That's when I first heard about him.
Here's my thing. I don't agree with a lot what the NFL does on some things, some situations, some issues, but I'm glad they teams come together on this issue and didn't draft him.
Yep.
It's called. This is what it's called. I mean, they can call it karma or whatever. It's called eating a piece of the humble pie.
Yep.
You need humbled. That dude need humbled. I mean, he did. Was he a good quarterback?
Consequences.
Yes, he was doing good, playing good, but he got too arrogant and too cocky. The last one that reminded me of that, and we've talked about it in previous years on this podcast, is Johnny Manziel. He was another one, and when I remember watching him, I said he ain't going to do nothing in the NFL. He was so cocky, arrogant, and he didn't do nothing in the NFL.
Sure didn't.
So, and yeah, when you got young kids like this, and then he tried to sue the NCAA, try to get another year, and you don't want all that garbage
Oh,
going
yeah, I
on.
forgot about that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to see he didn't get touched and not picked up at all. So he needs to
He better go fill out them job applications with that college degree he got.
So yeah, maybe go to Japan. He can play in Japan. He can have 5 or 6 championships there.
Right.
We had a guy.
I wonder, do they still have arena football?
They got a football league over there. They don't know. We don't have arena here, not no more. But Japan's got their own league because we had a Skylar Howard, quarterback that played for West Virginia. He went over there and played, and he had like 4 or 5 championships in a row.
That's right.
And whatever team or area he was at, they made a statue of him. So, and he didn't even get touched or looked at in the NFL here. So, Diego, there's your next home. Go to China. I said Japan, but I think it was China. I said Japan, but China.
Yeah, I think it was China. I remember we had to talk.
All right, man. Well, you got anything else you want to touch up on?
I got nothing. We really. I was like, I like how we hit them teams. We really got the important ones that we thought was going to actually do damage. There's like a lot of teams like. Now wait, because we didn't go over Tennessee. I still think, and you know why I think Tennessee is going to do bad.
I think there's
Brian Dable is the offensive coordinator.
I think they're still going to stink it up. And me, I'm going to look at one real fast, and we got time if I can get it pulled up. And let's see if it comes up. Here it is. Come on, dude. Let's see. Let's do it this way, maybe. I'm trying to bring up the Patriots.
Okay.
Because, there's a lot of controversy going on there.
Yep.
And, all right, let's see. Second round. All right, first round, they went offensive tackle. Not bad. From Utah, beefing up that line. Second round, edge rusher from Illinois. Third round, a tight end. Fifth round, defensive back. Sixth round, they went offensive tackle, beefing it up. Sixth round, they went linebacker. And seventh round, they went with a quarterback.
I think that was a waste.
Texas. That was Texas Tech quarterback. I don't understand that one bit. But anyway, 7th round they went running back. Jam Miller played for Alabama. 7th round, man, they had a bunch of 7th round picks. They went linebacker, and that's their picks. And the reason I mention them just to see where they was at and everything. We didn't do the Seahawks. We could probably maybe talk about them later on or something next week or something.
Right.
Get back on it, but Coach Verbal. I mean, not verbal. I said verbal. Vrabel.
Vrabel, yeah.
Coach Vrabel for Patriots is in the news. And here's my thing. Okay. To me, I think it's a bunch of garbage. You know, what they're doing. I mean, here's my thing. Is it right or wrong? Maybe it's wrong or whatever, but who cares?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
regardless
who cares?
of, yeah, it's wrong, but it's his business. It's their business. But my thing is, the one thing I didn't like about it is, like I said, when I was talking to you about it, the NFL, they said they have to do an investigation. And while they're doing an investigation, because she's an NFL reporter, she's banned from the facilities.
Yeah.
Now she can go like do correspondence, Philadelphia, Buffalo, and all the other, but she can't do anything in New England, which he can still coach.
Well, here's my thing.
I mean, like, I don't think that's fair.
Here's my thing. She's got 2 kids because they said, well, if I was the dad of them kids, I'd have them kids tested. Them kids were kind of older, so that stuff would have happened when he was at Tennessee coaching.
Right, but I didn't even think he coached at Tennessee long.
He was there a couple years. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about at least about 2 years.
I think he was there more than a couple years, wasn't he?
I think he was just there 2 years. Because didn't he get fired? I swore up and down he got fired.
He got fired, but I thought he was there for about 3 or 4 years. I could be wrong. Let's see. How you spell his last name?
VRA.
Brel.
Yeah, try that.
All right, he was there from 2018 to 23.
Oh, that's a whole 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. I thought he was there 4 or 5 years. They started out all right, and then they just went downhill. But anyway.
No, I can't remember when Tennessee was winning. Last time I think Tennessee was winning is when they had Steve McNair as quarterback.
I think they had another decent season. Real fast, let's hit it before we get off here. Let's see if I can't bring it up. Let's see when the last winning season was. Okay, that's what I thought. It wasn't too long ago. That was when that's when he was there coaching 21. They was 12-5.
Okay.
They was the number 1 seed.
Yo, that's really they was the number 1 seed. They must have got knocked. Well, we know they got knocked off, but it's just like I don't remember them being that good.
Yeah, I thought they had a couple good years with him there and everything else. Maybe that's the reason they fired him.
Because he was fooling around with that chick. Maybe they did find out and they fired him.
But here's my thing. There's some stuff, I mean, I think they need, like I told you, long as it wasn't rape and abuse, leave it alone. I mean, I think
honestly, this is where I have to admit, cancel culture has went a bit too far. Because Boston, when they had Ime Udoka or whatever his name is, he was coach for the Boston Celtics. took them to the finals, almost won, but they lost. I forgot who they lost to. But he was messing around with the woman in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody found out and they fired him. He had to sit
Yep.
out the NBA for a whole year before. And now he's with Houston. He's coaching Houston, but he had to sit out a whole year because he was messing around. And that guy, I think his last name was Sheraton. He was a coach for Michigan. He was messing around. He messed around with a staffer, and Michigan fired him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's one of those, to me, it's their personal business. I mean, like, as long as they ain't doing it in the office, they ain't on company property or company time, who cares?
And it's like you've had coaches, college coaches and cheerleaders. I mean, and then they fired a coach or whatever, which if it was consent, them girls are of age.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you talked about before. I mean, as a dad, I wouldn't be happy, but somebody like tell my daughter, what do you think? What are you doing?
Right.
But I mean, they're of age, as long as there's no foul play. I mean, I think they stick their nose where it don't need to belong, and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but especially, I mean, that's the NFL and everything else, and I think it's being blown up. And here's my thing. And I mean, do I agree with the stuff? A lot of stuff? No, I don't. But let's go back to in the 90s with Bill Clinton and that whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
So what? I mean, we're bringing up stuff. I mean, the majority of them people is done, and most of the people that's bringing stuff up against them has done the same thing. A lot of them. So,
right.
Just leave it alone. Don't. It's ridiculous. But anyway. All right. Like we always do at the end of each episode, if you're thinking about harming or hurting yourself, dial the quick number 988, dial 1. That's the Veteran Crisis Line. That's 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-8255. But it's better and quicker to dial 988 and dial 1. Dial 1 as well if you dial the 800 number, and that's the National Crisis Line as well.
Yes, that's a national number. So it's not just here in West Virginia. Every state can use it.
So that's if you're thinking about, I mean, keep an eye on your battle buddies, if or your friends or whatever. If there's any change in their behavior or something, and a lot of times that's not time to give them space. That's time to talk to them. Stay
exactly.
Keep your mind off of it.
Yep.
Also,
if you let them be alone, that's when they do it.
Also, if you're a veteran, you can go to the local VA medical center. Go to the ER. They got people there on staff on call to get you in contact to the resources that you need. Anything else, Beans?
I got nothing.
Well, all right. Well, y'all have a good night, a good week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Have a good one.
Yeah, we will. All righty.